Good morning. This is Susan, and I will be reading the Sun Chronicle for Thursday, June 25th, 2026. The first article on the front page says litigation between Foxborough and Crafts over Gillette Stadium licensing expected to be prolonged. Foxborough. It is expected to be a while before the legal dispute between the town and Kraft Group over funding for security and other expenses for Gillette Stadium events is resolved. It could take months, Select Board member Mark Elfman said at the Tuesday board meeting. Chairman Bill Youngna agreed. The litigation could go into next year, he said. I don't want anyone sitting there to think it could be a quick resolution. The town will likely have to hire a consultant to work on its behalf, Youngna said. At this point, we have a lot of work to do. Kraft Sports and Entertainment and the New England Patriots last week filed a lawsuit against the town in Norfolk Superior Court over licensing fees. The Kraft Group and Patriots maintain the town has been repeatedly misusing its state-granted licensing authority unlawfully to extract funds. The suit contends under state law, Foxborough can charge a maximum fee of $100 each year to renew the stadium's entertainment license. This April, Foxborough used what should have been a routine entertainment license renewal as a pretext to charge plaintiffs approximately $1 million annually in new administrative fees, the complaint said. This is above and beyond the more than $4 million the Kraft Group pays the town for special police and fire detail services and another $4 million in payment in lieu of taxes, the lawsuit says. Despite the Kraft Group's attempt to negotiate a compromise and continue a long-standing relationship of cooperation and mutual respect with the town, the lawsuit claims Foxborough has refused to provide an entertainment license for Gillette Stadium that is not conditioned on the Kraft Group writing new seven-figure checks to the town. As part of the 2026 entertainment license issued by the Select Board, the town implemented provisions requiring Kraft Sports and Entertainment to reimburse the town for vital public safety and other municipal services necessary to support events held at Gillette Stadium, town officials said in a statement at the time. Throughout discussions with Kraft Sports and Entertainment's representatives, the town's position has remained consistent. Foxborough residents should not be asked to subsidize the municipal costs associated with privately held events. These services are intended to protect public health and safety and ensure that the town is adequately prepared to manage large-scale events, the statement reads. Security needs for stadium events are growing increasingly complex, and the conditions of the license issued by the Foxborough Select Board were carefully crafted to ensure the health and safety of fans, concertgoers, employees, and residents. Local officials also say in the long-term lease for the land that Gillette Stadium was built on, the Kraft Group agreed to bear such costs. Meanwhile, Select Board members Tuesday night approved licenses for the Kraft Group for preseason and regular season games, as well as 3 potential playoff games for the New England Patriots for the 26-27 NFL season. Also approved were licenses for 2 concerts, the Chris Brown and Usher Show August 17th and the Carol G. Villando por el Mundo Troubadour on September 12th. It's the second time in the last several months the two sides have squared off after having a relatively smooth relationship for years. The first battle involved the World Cup games, which after a high-profile months-long standoff was resolved in March when security funding was agreed upon and a license was approved for the games. The Kraft Group and World Cup organizers agreed to cover $7.8 million in security costs the town said was required to safely host the matches, but not until after the groups and the town exchanged sharp public comments. The latest stalemate over licensing concerts, soccer and football games, and other events at Gillette had been partially resolved in April when Select Board members voted to approve the annual event license under the previous financial conditions for 2 months to give the parties time to work out their differences over the town's proposed new funding for security. Yugna acknowledged the Kraft Group faced a June 15th deadline to either accept the town's proposal or file suit. Plainville enacts outdoor water restrictions. Town officials are restricting unnecessary outdoor watering in light of the ongoing drought in the region. Select Board members this week voted to enact a ban on non-essential outdoor water use. Sprinkler and automated irrigation system use is prohibited. Outdoor watering is limited to handheld hoses or watering cans and is permitted only during the hours of 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. Outdoor watering within 48 hours after measurable rainfall is not allowed. Also prohibited is washing of personal vehicles and all hard surfaces, including driveways, patios, sidewalks, and siding, filling or refilling of swimming pools and hot tubs, and installation of new sod, seeding, or ornamental landscaping. All town water users are urged to reduce overall water use immediately. Businesses and large buildings must identify and repair all indoor leaks without delay. Businesses are also required to conduct water audits to identify conservation opportunities. At the moment, we are seeing our pumps running longer, but our water towers are still full. Demand is just too high. Town Administrator Brian Noble said, the Level 2 restrictions are designed to curb that peak demand. Residents and businesses are urged to install new fixtures to reduce indoor consumption and use rain barrels to collect rainwater for garden use. For additional water conservation and tips and resources, visit mass.gov/info-details/drought-tips-tools-resources. The following uses are not subject to the restriction: water use for health and safety purposes, agricultural operation, including the maintenance of livestock, crops, and vegetable gardens, and commercial car washes that recycle water. Violation of the restrictions are subject to enforcement. First offense is a written warning, subsequent offense a $100 fine, and continued noncompliance could result in termination of water services. To report a violation, contact the Plainville DPW Water Division at 508-695-3010, extension 822. The outdoor water restrictions follow the state earlier this month declaring a significant drought in southeastern Massachusetts because of a months-long dry spell. That was an upgrade from a mild drought the previous month. The town's enhanced outdoor water restrictions also follow the state DEP guidelines for its water withdrawal permit. Bear spotted in North Attleboro and Norfolk area. And there's a picture of a very large bear. This black bear was spotted in North Attleboro this past weekend. Wildlife officials say sightings of black bears with a population of around 5,000 in Massachusetts alone and a growing population in Rhode Island and Connecticut are becoming more common. Residents along Betts Drive and nearby streets got an unexpected visitor over the weekend. A black bear was observed Sunday on the street. The street in the west central part of town is close to Scotts Brook and a large forested area near Heather Hill Country Club. He was just down at Betts Drive, walked right up to my neighbor's driveway into his backyard, Jamie Lake posted on the North Attleboro Police Department's Facebook page. A video of the bear in the backyard was posted on the page as well. A bear was also reported in the area of Whiting Street, West Street, and Broadway Extension, which is not far from Betts Drive. Police checked the area to no avail. A bear was also known to be wandering recently through South Attleboro, Norfolk, and Wrentham, according to community social media and animal control officers in those towns, as well as West Greenwich, Rhode Island. Attleboro police received a call about 10 a.m. Monday about a bear being observed in South Attleboro. We received a call from a resident on Tomlinson Road reporting seeing a bear in his backyard, Deputy Police Chief Timothy Cook Jr. said. Shortly after, a second caller reported seeing a bear on Allen Avenue. Bears do come through our town at this time of year. They are nomadic in nature, so please don't think they will take over your shed and call it home, Norfolk Animal Control Officer Hillary Cohen said in a post that was also shared on Plainville Rentham Animal Control social media. Best thing everyone can do is remove bird feeders, suspend free-range grazing, fortify chicken coops and hives with hot wire. Do not feed pets outdoors. Make sure your pets are within eyesight and keep your cameras nearby to catch some great photos. Feel free to direct messages to the appropriate ACO if you get great photos or sustain livestock damage, Cohen said. The public is advised not to approach bears and call 911 if a bear is seen. Residents are also urged to secure pets and other animals, as well as bird feeders and trash. Bears are often attracted to bird feeders and easily available food sources. North Attleboro Police joked on Facebook to also secure any picnic baskets, an obvious reference to the cartoon character Yogi Bear, who is fond of picnic baskets. Bears have been observed in North Attleboro, Plainville, Mansfield, and other area communities over the past several years. They are becoming more common in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut as their population has grown. Black bears are common in western and central Massachusetts and are expanding their range eastward. The population in the state, according to Massachusetts wildlife officials, is estimated to be around 5,000 now. It hit a low of fewer than 100 in the 70s. Attleboro City Councilor says no vote on wetlands proposal was difficult. Attleboro. Councillor Ty Waterman said voting against a proposal to expand the city's wetlands protection buffer from 25 to 50 feet marked the most difficult moment of his 8 years on the city council. In my heart and my soul, I was a very strong yes voter on this 50-foot Protection Act, he said. An amendment adopted before the final vote, however, changed his position. Before the June 16 vote, Councillor Jonathan Tavares introduced an amendment that exempted homeowners from parts of the ordinance. The original proposal allowed additions, including decks, sheds, and pools on already disturbed land, such as lawns or paved area. Tavares' amendment allowed those additions on undisturbed land as well. Waterman said councilors do not have enough time to fully review or understand the 4-page amendment before voting. It was handed out to us during the meeting. I hadn't been able to read any of it when it was handed out as an amendment, he said. I had no idea what was in those 4 pages that he wrote. I felt it would be completely irresponsible for me to blindly support it. I needed to study it privately, and I needed to speak with our experts in the planning department about the details. Tavares' amendment included the full text of the original proposal with sections crossed out and replaced. Despite asking clarifying questions, Waterman said he still lacked sufficient information and wished more councilors had raised concerns, given the amendment's scope. I hope that we would have voted down Councilor Tavares' amendment and returned to Councilor Sawyer's original motion, where I could then vote yes. It didn't happen. Councilor Tavares' amendment passed 6-5. The amended wetlands proposal later passed by the same margin, 6-5. Councilors' comment on amendment. Tavares acknowledged the amendment was not provided to councilors in advance. He said he introduced it that night because he believed his concerns had not been addressed at previous meetings. He said he would have preferred sending the measure as amended back to committee for further discussion. Council Vice President Laura Dolan said extensive amendments ideally should be vetted in committee before reaching the full council. She said she could have withdrawn her second to delay the vote, but chose not to because the measure had already been postponed twice due to charter objections. Councilor Sarah Reynolds issued a charter objection at the council's first attempt to vote on May 19th, halting the vote and related discussion. A second charter objection, which required support from 4 councilors, was issued June 2nd by Reynolds, Tavares, J. Delicio, and Diana Holmes. Under council rules, charter objections may be used only twice on a matter. Showcase Cinema in North Attleboro under new ownership. Showcase Cinema is getting a new owner. Kinepolis, a European company, has announced it is acquiring the national movie theater chain from Harbor Lights Entertainment. The only Showcase Cinema in the Attleboro area is on Route 1 in North Attleboro. Kinepolis said the Showcase name won't change and it will emphasize continuity for moviegoers. Showcase has also been located at Patriot Place off Route 1 in Foxborough. Phoenix Theaters is moving into the space that had been occupied by Showcase Cinema Deluxe that closed in January. The new theater plans to open July 1st. A Showcase Cinema closed on Commerce Way off Route 6 in Seekonk on January 25 and was demolished last December to make way for a new Market Basket that is expected to open in 27. Showcase Cinemas has scaled down significantly over the past several years. There are still 13 Showcase locations in the United States, including 7 in Massachusetts, 1 in Rhode Island, and others in New York and Ohio. The pending new owner, a Belgian-based cinema business, operates 63 theaters across Europe, 35 in Canada, and 24 in the U.S. Kinepolis expects to finalize the acquisition by the end of summer. The transaction includes ownership of 6 cinemas, while the remaining 7 are operated under lease arrangement. Rehoboth man among 13 arrested in World Cup trafficking operation. A 34-year-old Rehoboth man is among 13 men arrested in separate human trafficking and child exploitation operations tied to the FIFA World Cup matches at Gillette Stadium. Richard Lallier was arraigned Thursday in U.S. District Court and order held without bail pending further proceedings, Rhode Island State Police said Tuesday while announcing 6 of the arrests. Prosecutors charged Lallier with attempted enticement, attempted interstate travel for sexual contact with a minor under 16, and attempted transmission of obscene material to a minor. Authorities said the arrests stem from coordinated multi-agency efforts to combat human trafficking and the sexual exploitation of children before, during, and after the World Cup. 7 tournament matches are being played at Gillette Stadium, which is called Boston Stadium for the matches in Foxborough. Investigators targeted individuals allegedly seeking to engage in commercial sex acts, child exploitation, and other crimes associated with human trafficking. The Rhode Island-led operation involved Massachusetts and Rhode Island State Police, the FBI, Naval Criminal Investigative Service, the Rhode Island Attorney General's Office, and the U.S. Attorney's Office. Participating agencies said major international sporting events can bring economic and cultural benefits to host communities, but may also create opportunities for traffickers and those who exploit vulnerable populations. Law enforcement officials said proactive enforcement efforts will continue throughout the region to deter human trafficking, identify victims, and hold offenders accountable. Rhode Island arrests. The other 5 men Rhode Island State Police said were arrested are Rocky Joseph, 38, of Central Falls, arrested by the Special Victims Unit and FBI on an affidavit and arrest warrant issued as a result of the operation. He was released on personal recognizance and charged with electronically disseminating indecent material to a minor. Joshua Lincoln, 27, of North Providence, released on personal reconnaissance after being charged with indecent solicitation of a minor. Jacob Palazzo, 26, of Cranston, released on personal recognizance after being charged with indecent solicitation of a minor. Franco Macaulay, 60, of Johnston, Rhode Island, released on personal recognizance after being charged with procurement of sexual conduct for a fee. Travis Shaw, 38, of Tiverton, Rhode Island, arrested by the Special Victims Unit and Tiverton Police Department on an affidavit and arrest warrant issued as a result of the operation. He was released on personal recognizance and charged with electronically disseminating indecent material to a minor. FBI Boston arrests Julio Aguilar, 42, Kenneth Berry, 45, of Middleborough, Manjil Busal, 21, of Somerville, Jonathan Matthew William Dorchester, 34, of Brockton, Trevin Hubbard, 31, of Middleborough, Krish Patel, 26, of Quincy, and Gerald Sabatellini, 71, of Hyannis. All 7 were arraigned in Brockton District Court on state charge of sex for a fee with a child under 18, enticement of a child under 16, and attempted rape of a child. Anyone who suspects human trafficking is encouraged to contact local law enforcement or the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 888-373-7888. Tips may be submitted confidentially, and assistance is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Tax relief for North Attleboro seniors gets state approval. North Attleboro, a property tax break for lower-income senior citizens, has been approved at the state level. Town council members voted last year for the tax relief after discussing ways to ease the burden on seniors from the new $287 million high school project underway. The measure required a home rule petition approved by the state legislature. Legislation filed by State Representative Adam Scanlon, Democrat, North Attleboro, and State Senator Paul Feeney, Democrat, Foxborough, has now been passed by the House and Senate and signed into law by Governor Maura Healey. A typical homeowner faces an estimated $1,000 annual tax increase over the next 30 years to pay for the new school, although about half the cost will be covered by the state. However, the tax relief is not specifically tied to the high school project. The new law authorizes the town council to establish a means-tested property tax exemption for eligible senior homeowners, providing another tool to help older residents remain in their homes as housing costs and property taxes rise. To qualify, homeowners must own and occupy their home as their primary resident, meet age requirements, have lived in North Attleboro for at least 10 consecutive years, own a home assessed at or below the town's average residential value, and meet annual income and asset requirements set by the council. The legislature removed a 500-person cap and first-come, first-served language from the proposal. The exemption will be available in addition to any other property tax relief for which a homeowner qualifies. The legislature gives the county flexibility to determine the annual exemption and amount and adjust income eligibility thresholds over time, allowing the program to respond to changing economic conditions, the lawmakers said. The law also includes a 3-year review period, after which the council may vote to renew the program. Our seniors have spent decades building our community, and many are now facing increasing financial pressure from rising property taxes and the cost of living. This legislation gives North Attleboro another tool to help seniors age in place and remain in the homes and neighborhoods they love. By allowing the town council to adjust the program over time, the law provides the flexibility needed to ensure this relief remains both effective and financially sustainable, said Scanlon. Scanlon and Feeney also recognized the town council's efforts. I want to sincerely thank the North Attleboro Town Council for recognizing the need for this initiative and for working collaboratively to make it a reality, Scanlon said. Their commitment to helping our senior resident made the legislation possible. Feeney said seniors are among those most in need of a tax relief. North Attleboro Pride Festival marking 5th year. North Attleboro, the town's annual Pride Festival, will reach a milestone Saturday, marking its 5th anniversary. The event, for all ages, is being held from 2 to 6, rain or shine, at Veterans Park in front of Town Hall, 43 South Washington Street, downtown. There will be music by School of Rock show band DJ Nate, over 50 local vendors, crafters, community groups, family activities, and a food truck. The mission of the event is to bring awareness and celebration of the LGBTQIA plus community, promote inclusion of sexual and gender diversity, and foster safe places for individuals, families, and allies. At Saturday's festival, there will also be speeches by local LGBTQIA community members and supporters. The event is certain to be a terrific celebration of the local LGBTQIA community, said Pride Event Chair Sarah Sandella, who has been helping spearhead the event from its first year to make that community feel welcome. The volunteer-run event has grown from a small one into a large event that is now a tradition in town, organizers say. The first festival drew about 300 people and saw a half dozen local organizations participate. Now many more attend, and about 20 organizations are involved. The organizations range from youth groups and churches to counseling groups. The event is held every June during Pride Month, a month-long observation dedicated to the celebration of LGBTQ pride, commemorating the contributions of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer culture and community. Several Attleboro area communities hold Pride events during June. Sponsor of North Attleboro's festival are Harmony Chiropractic of Plainville, Peak Pediatrics of North Attleboro, and Charm Dental of Foxborough. We appreciate all the support from the local community, Senadella said. This event wouldn't be possible without them. Man charged with upskirting 13-year-old girl at Xfinity Center in Mansfield. A Middleborough man has been arrested for allegedly taking photos under a young girl's skirt during a concert at the Xfinity Center. Brandon Cora, 27, of Middleborough, was arrested Friday night and charged with photographing sexual or intimate parts of a child. Police officers working at the Black Crows and Whiskey Myers concert about 6:10 p.m. were notified by venue security that a man had been reported allegedly using a cell phone to record beneath a 13-year-old girl's skirt. A witness had alerted security personnel, and the victim and her family met with police. After gathering evidence, taking statements, and conducting interviews, police identified the suspect as Cora and took him to the Mansfield Police Station booking. Cora was arraigned on Monday in Attleboro District Court. I want to commend the witness who promptly reported what she observed, as well as the victim's family and the on-site security personnel who took action and immediately notified the police. Their response allowed officers to quickly intervene, secure evidence, and begin a thorough investigation into these serious allegations. We take incidents like this extremely seriously and will always work to protect our children from abuse and exploitation. This kind of invasion and disturbing behavior has no place in our society, Sellon said. And this will be our last article on a more upbeat note. That's a lot of years. Attleboro man 103 recounts best parts of his life on Father's Day. Donald Maynard has seen a lot in his nearly 104 years on the planet. He remembers the Empire State opening in 1931. He remembers the Great Depression being so difficult for his family. He had 7 brothers and 4 sisters, only had biscuits to eat some nights. He remembers hearing about the devastation after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. He remembers President Franklin D. Roosevelt's fireside chats. That's a lot of years, Maynard said. It's a lot of good times and a lot of bad times. And I'm sorry, that's all I have time for from the Sun Chronicle. Have a good day.